Hello guys, how are you doing? It's your boy Dave Partner. So we're going to be cloning this website. Look at this website now with this user dashboard interface, this list of users and the dates. We will also be cloning all this. Alright, so let's get on with it. First of all, you head back to Figma. Figma is available at www.figma.com. Alright, figma.com, and you click on this plus sign at the top location. Now we have it, so we're gonna call this user list. Now we call it a user list. We will click on this on desktop, and now we have a desktop. But before we continue, I would like to screenshot this interface and go ahead. Otherwise, let's just start instead of screenshotting. So we go here, and the very first thing we're gonna get is draw this rectangle. So I clicked here, got this rectangle and pulled it to the extreme. And first of all, it's white in color, white. And secondly, it has some effects. I'll click here on effects. This is what I mean by effects. There is a drop down shadow. If you look at this place, there's a tiny little drop down shadow, very little, difficult to notice. So I'm gonna do that. Just come here, click this top icon, click on effects. You see, it has been added. Alright, we're gonna do the same thing for the right part. So I'll do Control D. Control D or Command D will duplicate what you have. So we're gonna do it this way and all the way to the bottom. Alright, so let's click outside. So we have the two of them now. Now thirdly, we have this. I wouldn't want to spend my time doing this because I already did it in the previous video tutorial. I wouldn't also want to spend my time doing this because I want to focus on this. We might do these ones last. So we're gonna create this rectangle. Alright, good. So we come to our Figma and we get a rectangle and we draw our rectangle. Okay, we're good. And just to be sure of the size of the rectangle, there is sufficient space. There is sufficient space between the rectangle and here. And then if you look at the other extreme, there is space here too. So we're going to put that space to make sure it doesn't lap to the body. Okay, good. The rectangle is supposed to be white. Make it white. But then the background is supposed to be pale color. So choose the background. Make it pale. First of all, since let's create a full rectangle first. Full rectangle that touches everything. A full rectangle that touches everything, and then we give it a pale background. Pale. Good, because we're trying to achieve this. So now we have a rectangle with a pale background. We are going to then create another rectangle that gives us sufficient space. Okay, for this one, I wouldn't want it to touch. I will pull it up just a little. Just a little. Just a little. Pull it out just a little. Okay, The reason I'm pulling it out just a little is so that we can still see it. I think I should just leave it that way. Okay, now the next one we're going to do, let me change the color a little. I think that's what's going to be better. Let's put it at 50. Beautiful. Now it makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So this one now, I'm going to make the sides, the edges. If we zoom in now, you see that the edges are square, but here, the edges are curved. Look at the edges here. The edges here are curved. And then you see this small drop shadow. Okay, so we'll come here, make this white. This guy is white now. Then we'll make sure that the edges are curved. So we'll put it at 10% curve. Enter, close this. So if we zoom in now, you see that there is now a curve. Now, but what of the shadow? So we'll click on it and click on effects, drop shadow. The shadow is already there, look at. Now, if your shadow is not showing the way mine is showing, just know that you can click here and adjust the numbers. Look at my own numbers. My own numbers are 25% black, okay, 4040, okay. Now we have that sorted out. The next thing we are going to work on is the name here, all employees info. So we come right here and then we add the text. Text says all employees info. Now that's so small. That's way too small. So I'm thinking we should increase the size. I've selected the text, right? You click outside to select the text. So here I'm going to put it at 25. For a start, we could come back and change the size, okay? It's at 25. The next thing is we need the color. So we go, I think the color is somewhere around cyan. So we'll come here, select cyan color. Somewhere around here. Yeah, so to start with, alright, like I said, I'm not trying to get the exact same colors, otherwise I would have just used the sniper tool to get this color exactly. So, but I'm just trying to show you how these things are done. So we need this rectangle. Alright, the rectangle is directly under the all employees info. So we come here, get a rectangle, put it under. So we need to know, see that there's a space between here and the rectangle, and there's a space here. So we draw that. See this aligned with this, okay? So we draw that. Beautiful. Okay. Now the color of the rectangle is this color, so we try to find the color. To find the color, we just come somewhere here and we make it this. Okay. So now the next thing we need is we need employee name, emp name, designation, join dates, and emp status. So let's go. Text, emp dot name. I think that's what we have there. Emp.name, good, and it's black. So if I click outside, it's selected now. I'll make it bold. Make it bold, regular, bold, good, and then I can adjust it to be somewhere here. Then Ctrl D, drag it outside a little. Then if I press Ctrl D again, Ctrl D, D, D. Alright, spread. So now we have designation, join date, and emp status. So we have designation, join date, time status. I will add a third one, which I would call salary. Third or fourth. Okay, so the next thing we need is the names. We need names. All right, so then there are pictures, right? So let's go with the pictures first. First and foremost, we're going to select ellipse and hold your shift key to draw. Hold your shift key so you can draw a perfect cycle. If we come here, we see that there's a space. There's a space between here and the first picture. And the first picture is directly under M name. So if we come here, we can hold the shift key and draw. Then release your mouse before you release the shift key. Good. Now I'm gonna do Ctrl D. Ctrl D. Okay, no, before I do that, let's continue. Let's look at this place. There's a small space here as compared to what we have here, so I can move this up a little. Alright, good. Now the next thing is to write the names. The name says interior web design. Okay, if you look at the name here, you see that it starts exactly where this one starts. And then the name here says Alexander. So we'll write Alexander. So Alexander now needs to be, if I click outside, it's selected. Alexander needs to be smaller. Let's put it at 20 and see what it looks like. Let's put it at 15. I think 20 looks okay. Okay, so I drag Alexander close to this place. Good. And then just to be sure, Alexander, let's put it at 18. Okay. Now it shouldn't be bold, it's regular. And I think the opacity should be around 80%. 80. Opacity, let's put it at 50. No, 70 opacity. Okay, 70 is good. Now click on this, Command D, and we drag to this place. Alright, make sure it's aligned, and we'll do the same thing again. Command D, drag to this place, make sure it's aligned. Command D again. Beautiful. So next thing we want to do is to draw a line. So come here, select line tool, check where the line started. Line started exactly here and ended exactly here. So right here, line tool, let's say the distance between this, the distance here is the same distance with this place. Okay, line tool. So you hold your shift key so you can draw a straight line. Hold down the shift key and draw until it snaps into grid. Beautiful. Okay, so I think it should come up just a little, and we'll look at the color of the line. The line is too dark, so what if we set it at the same color as this? 70%. Let's check this out. Oh, the line is so faint. Let's put it at 30%. 30. Okay. So what if it is 2? Okay, good. So I increase the stroke to 2, but then the line is 70. Now we need a plugin called Content Reel. Okay, but before then, let's try and duplicate all these things. So what I'll do is I'll select all this. Select, 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 select. So I've selected all these. I'll Control D or Command D. Then I'll drag it down just a little. Okay. Then I'll press Command D again. Command D, 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 D. Alright. Now we have it. Okay. So now this is the time we need the content reel. First of all, we need avatars. So I'll hold my shift key and select these empty pictures. Select them. Then right click. Oops. Again, hold my shift key and select, right click on them, plugins, content reel. If you don't have this content reel already, click on manage plugins. Content reel is one of the most useful plugins in Canva, or sorry, in Figma. Alright, now if you click on that, you come to Community tab, come here and search for content reel, hit enter, click on plugins, and then you have it. So you see content reel, then you install it. Alright, I have already installed it. I don't know why it's still asking me to install, but that's how you do that. Okay, so from here, now I've selected all these, holding my shift key, I right click on them, plugins, content reel. So now content reel is interesting. Make sure you have your internet on. Alright, it's going to load from the internet. So you have full name, you have Lorem Ipsum short name, okay, you have date, you have user full address, phone number, currency, icons, and avatars. This is what we're looking for. So if I click on this, I will chill. You see, it has created these avatars for me. Beautiful. Now we're going to do the same thing with the names. Hold, 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 hold. And these are last names, right? Click on this. Oops. Control Z. These are first names, okay? Good. Okay. So I just need first names and give me first and last names. Okay, so we're just going to. Sometimes you should just check the settings of these plugins and you'll see how to adjust some of them. Alright, you'll see how to adjust the settings to give you what you want. So but I'm back here. Now we're going to do the same thing for designation. Designation does not give us anything. We're going to write the designation manually, but these ones are dates. Hold. Okay, so shift, hold the shift key, click, then we'll put a date. You see, it has entered the date. So if you want to change the format of the date, remember that you can set it here. So status, we're going to do the status manually. And salary, there's a reason I put salary, so you can see what the money looks like, the currency. So if we come here and put US currency, you see, remember that you can set it to. Now we've done that, we can close. So this is what it looks like now. Generally, I think the fonts are too small. What do you think? So it's looking like the fonts are too small. So in that case, we will be increasing the font to 22%. Oops, it's not increasing the whole font for us. I have to highlight everything. let's see whether this is gonna work. 22, enter. As you can see, it doesn't increase everything, so we have to click one by one. Okay, good. Alright, it's okay if you didn't increase yours. It's very okay. So now you see how it looks like. So employee status, we're going to do a little design there, because here, if you look at this place, you would see that there is a little design here. There's a little design here. So let's try and do the design. So in employee status, I'll delete them. Select, delete. So I've hit the delete key on my keyboard and it's gone. So if we come here, I can select a rectangle and draw the status. So to draw the status, I have to zoom in. Make sure that the edges are curved. Look at this. The edges are curved. Then there's a circle inside that. Then there's inactive. So I'm just going to look for the circle. Okay. First of all, the color is somewhere here. The color is somewhere here. Like I told you in this tutorial, I'm not trying to get the perfect colors. I'm just trying to get something done so that you see some. Yeah, so you see the way some things are done. Okay. All right. One thing we can do is to make the edges curved. So I'll click here, make the edges curved. The edge is make it curved by 10. Okay, I'm still not satisfied with this color. I think it's somewhere towards the pinkish. I'm still not satisfied with the color. Okay, so we'll pick a circle, ellipse, draw here. Make sure the circle is towards the red. Okay, the circle should be the same color. Okay, but this one, we're gonna make it 50%. Exactly. So now we're gonna write inactive. Inactive. Click outside, drag it in. Make sure it's a little smaller. Make it 15. Oops. What is the size of this text? 20. Make it 20. Make it 20. Perfect. So, but we're gonna make it the same color. I think this is too light. I think it should come somewhere here. Good. So now we can pick this. Scroll up. Pick this. Pick the color. Oh, we can still pick this color just to be sure. Pick this and pick this color. Good. So that's it. Inactive. So I'm going to group all of them. Click on this, hold my shift key, click on this and click on this, and Ctrl G or Command G, or right click and group selection. Right click and group selection. Now I can Command D. So it's now duplicated. So what I'll do is drag the second duplicate down and then press Command D several times. Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D. Alright, so here you'll see that it's roughly the same until you get to the last point where it is now active. Okay, so let's do the active one. So the last one is active. So if we zoom into the last one, double click, and then we'll start looking for a primary color somewhere around here. One more time. Oh, good. somewhere around here. Yes, and this is roughly the same color, but deeper. And we'll pick this color. Good. So one thing you notice is that the length is a little, oops. I have to ungroup, so I'll right click on group selection so I can reduce the length of, oops, why hasn't it ungrouped? Okay, escape. So if you don't know what you've selected, you can put escape. So now we're good now. So this is the kind of thing we're looking at, and at the bottom here we see that we have previous 1, 2, 3, next. Okay, so we're going to do that. Previous has to be, we'll just make it 50. Enter. Good. So we write again 1. So we'll make it 50. Enter. And Command D, then we drag 1 to this place. Then we'll press Command D several times. Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D. Alright, so here we can have next. Okay, just like we have here. Now we can rename these ones to 2, 3, 4, and this one we can delete it, and this we can drag it all the way back. So if you don't want to make mistake about the arrangement while dragging, you hold your shift key so you can drag in a straight line. Alright, so which is exactly what I just did now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So now here needs a square, so we'll come here, draw a rectangle above it, and we want the rectangle to go behind, so we'll do send backward, send backward, send backward. Since it's not going backward, let's try this one. Bring forward, bring to front. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, good. So now we need it to be curved. We need the edges to be curved. So we'll give it 10 curve, and I think 10 is too much. Give it 5. Good. We'll once again check out the color. Now we know the color. We can click on this and start looking for that color. Nope. Something like this. We're going to manage something like this. But then the text now is going to be white. The text is going to be white color. So right here, we'll select white. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are, I think this background should still be a little transparent, in the sense that I can put it at 10. Enter. Okay. Let's do 15. Enter. Good. So that's where we are. You see how to create a sheet. So the only other things remaining is these other parts. For instance, we need this search box. This is how we're gonna do it. First of all, find where the search box ends. It ends here, alright, and it starts somewhere after the last one. So right here, we'll just come to this place, select. We need to check the height too. The search box is roughly at the same place. So we draw this. That's the search box for you. Alright, then first of all, the fill color is non-existent, but it has a stroke. Fill color is 0 or white. 0. Now you can't see it, but it has a stroke color. Stroke is the border. Let's make the border curved first. The border is curved, as you can see, 5% curved. So come here and put 5. Enter. You see, it's curved now. But then the color will soften it to 50%. You see, now we have it. Then we're writing it. What's written inside it? What is written inside it? It says search. So get a text and write search. Click outside, drag it. Make sure that the text is about 50%. Good. You see, perfect. What else do we have? Showing 1 to 5 of 19 entries. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Ctrl D, drag, and write showing 1 to 5, 9 of 19 entries. I did 9 because I think that we're more than 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 to 6 of 19 entries. Okay. Good. So now the other things remaining are these and these, and the columns here. Alright, so let's duplicate this search and put here. So if you select this and hold the shift key and select this, we can Ctrl D to duplicate, and then we can drag to this place. So if we drag here and click again, okay, this now instead of 10%, instead of 0%, I'm gonna put it at 50. You see, it now looks like this. Okay, 50 is too much. Let's put it at 20. Good. Then it needs an icon. Remember how to get an icon. So you right click on it. You right click, not necessarily on it, but you go to content rail, you select icons, and it will dump one icon on your interface. So icons, icon fabric. So we're looking for the search icon. Hit enter. So I'm searching for the search icon or magnifying glass, anyone. Remember that you can get icons from stuff like Font Awesome. Actually, the total icon set here is not much. So remember that you can always go to Font Awesome and stuff and get your own icons. I can't even see the magnifying glass. Magnifying. Finding icons here can be hard at times. Okay, yeah, got it. Oops, it's gone. It's gone. There you go. Search. I don't know why it was hard to find this icon, but once we have it, we can minimize and drag it into what we're doing. all the way up, all the way, scale it down. Now if we zoom in, right, I'd like to give it a size. I'll call that size, I'm guessing 16 by 16. 16 by 16. Enter. Now it looks like what I want. So if I put it here, I think we need 32. 32? Yeah, by 32. That's better. Now the thing is, it's facing the other side. Look at where this one is facing. This one is facing this side, and this one is facing the other side. So what do? You drag and reposition. Now we can do 32. 32 by 32. Good. So I can keep it here. Make sure it's 50%. 50%. Beautiful. So we have this. So to create a profile, we have to do an ellipse. Hold your shift key so you can do a perfect circle. Release the mouse before you release your shift key. Scroll down. It can be, make sure it comes down perfect. Now if you select it, right click on it and do plugins content reel. We can automatically insert a profile picture on it by just clicking the profile picture icon like we did before. Here we can just put avatar and it will insert avatar into it. Click avatar again and it will change the avatar to what you like. Click avatar one more time and good. What of this? Avatar. I prefer this. Okay, good. Now there is the top of this that is square, and to get the color, I'm guessing it's the same color with this. I will just choose this color, then zoom in. If you zoom in, you see that there is a space. Make sure it's covered properly. Good. Now what we need is we need the icons on the left. So right click, content reel, right click, plugins, content reel. So we're gonna select a number of icons and we're gonna do a little magic. Icons. So the speed of the display of this depends on your internet. So I'm just going to select a couple random icons. So for each one I click, it's going to show up on the screen there. Alright, good. Now I've selected a couple of icons and they're all showing up there. Look at what they look like. So I'll drag from outside to inside to select all of them and change their size to 32 by 32. Hit enter. So if I now zoom in, we can now see them. So since they're all selected, we can drag them to the side. Drag to the side. Now we're going to pull off another stunt. Look at this. Here we can say distribute vertical spacing. You see, they have all arranged themselves. This one now needs to come here. We're going to select all of them again. Outside. Let's zoom out and be sure that this looks good. Yes, it looks good. So I'm going to click this, Ctrl D or Command D, and duplicate and put one here. And make it bigger. I'll make it 40 by 40. Enter. Okay, it's now bigger. Then I'll make it white. Make it white. Good. Make sure it's in the middle. Now all these guys here are going to be reduced in terms of the opacity. Change it to 50, enter. Good. Then I move them up. Oops. I will move them up. Okay, so let's try something now. Space this out a little, space this out a little, and then select all of them holding the shift key. Holding the shift key, selecting all of them. Let's try that vertical distribution again. Oops. Look at what it did. That was wrong. In this, I don't want to spend much time in my design, but there you go. There you go with your design. Now there are other tiny little things we can do. For instance, here we can add these two icons, which are just a ringer, that's a bell icon, and an icon for a comment. Alright, so to do that we need a circle and then we need an icon inside it, and so we zoom in, we need a circle, an ellipse. We need an ellipse. Hold your shift key when drawing so that alternatively you can just click on this to get the dimension 6969. So if I click on this, it's 6060. I'll change it to 6969. Alright, 6969, hit enter, and then I'll use my cursor key to position it properly. Perfect. So once you get it, it's gonna draw that red line, and then we need the background. I'm just gonna make a guess of what the background is. Color picker, yeah, and then we're going to have to import two icons. The icons are a bell and a comment. So we'll go to plugins, content reel, and then we search for bell. In content reel, I think it's called a ringer icons. Ringer. Okay, now we have a problem. Finding that bell is actually difficult. I might end up using another icon. I'm not gonna waste my time here. Alright, so look at it, imagine, there you go. And then the other one is comment. So something like this. As usual, we drag from outside to select the tool. We reduce the size. I think the size should be somewhere around 32 by 32. Alright, why is it not changing? Oops, 0. Keep it empty. I made a mistake. So, but this is where I'm supposed to put 32. Right, 32. Alright, so I'm gonna drag them up. All the way up. Oops. All the way up. Alright. So now we're gonna get back to work and fixing them. Click outside. This one, first of all, rotate it back to 0. Alright. Then this one too. Oops, Ctrl Z. Oops, Ctrl Z. Turns out that many of these was added, more than one, so I had to keep deleting them one after the other. So now I can rotate, and I'll just put 0 here. Yeah, it's now positioned well. So 32 by 32, enter. So the color is just a little bit off, so let's choose something like this. Choose something like this too for the color, but then reduce the opacity. Perfect. So now we're going to group the two of them, Control D or Command D, then drag it out to this place. Then we'll click here, delete. Then we'll bring this one, oops, Control Z. Okay, then we'll drag it to this place. Of course, we'll rotate. You know, we accidentally skewed it. Keep it to 0. 32 by 32. Hit enter. And then here we choose this color. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations on staying through this tutorial. We have some icons to delete. Delete this, delete, click on delete. Alright, so I got to sign off on this one here. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you enjoyed how to build your own user dashboard interface using Figma. Remember, you can always export. Click here and you see a way to export. And then you can export as you want. Alright, thanks a lot, and let's look at the preview. Let us export and see what it looks like. Export. I'm going to open it up for you. So now I clicked export, it has downloaded. So here. So now look at what it looks like. The full design. That's what it looks like. Alright, now two things you have to do. You need to like, subscribe, and the third thing is to share. Send people this tutorial. They would need it most definitely. Alright, thank you very much. Don't forget to check my course on Udemy and check out other tutorials I've created on this topic and other topics. Thank you.